little while.
Yeah. Are you fully in, Scotty?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm still furloughed at the moment, so I'm still sitting at home waiting to know what's going on.
Are you at home? Flat
Yeah,
out?
I've been home last 3 weeks.
That's why you look so rested. I was wondering why. You look like a. Well, I'm starting to get grey hair, bro. I got my first full grey hair, and it's due to I think homeschooling.
Not strangling the kids.
I mean, you think they're pretty smart, and then they come home, and then you realise, okay, let's get back to the ABCs again. You know? They expect them to. I mean, it's crazy what they expect these children to do. I mean,
Yeah, some of the things I have to Google, like, I mean, honestly, sure, I don't know how to. I'm like, hey, I don't know this question. I don't understand this question. What's a pictogram?
Jeez, bro, it's serious. It's serious.
It's how they do stuff now, how they do maths and all that. It's just the different working out. I try and do a lot of working out in my head, and then they go, how'd you do it? And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. You've got to put the workings down, haven't you? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like we worked it out in a different way, I think. Yeah. Well, listen, I think what's wrong with it? What is it? This is Zoom. Is that on Instagram?
This is recorded.
Recorded.
YouTube later, yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
All right, so we said last week we're gonna dive into it, and I watched that video that you sent me, Scott. It's a great video, and I think we're gonna release that when we get to the nutritional side of things. This is nutritional talk, but at this stage of the game, we're just trying to educate ourselves by reading books, but also trying to give across what we busy reading and what we busy learning about just stupid thing like habits, and how I realized in my own life how difficult just creating habits is. I mean, Lou and I had a chat the other day, and we're like, we're pretty disciplined people from the outside. If you look in, we train, we do the things, but actually we're not disciplined, because when it comes to the small, the Saturday night, sit at home and have a extra helping of dessert, or doing small things like maybe just going off your fitness pal and your RP diet thing. If you go off those things, how disciplined are you if you really want to achieve the things you want to achieve? So we want to bring it back to creating habits first off. So for the next 2-3 weeks, we're just going to talk about habits and the stuff that we've picked up on it, and the books. So we've read a book on it, and we found this guy that is he's quite inspirational when it comes to creating habits and stuff like that. So for us, it's more a case of just thinking about nutrition differently, because we have these goals, and it's like we'll come to that now, where you have a goal of a guy with a six-pack and you want to look like that, but it's not about looking like that. It's about putting systems in place to eventually get to that. And I think when we have these goals of massive goals of weight loss, and I want to lose 10 kilograms and stuff like that, I think that's the case, is that we won't attain to that until we create small things in our life that changes. Instead of saying, right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go for it full out, instead of taking the big jump, make the small changes so that you can take the big jumps eventually. So that's what we're gonna. Hi, Mel.
Hi, Mel. You put your camera on.
Oh.
And the Galaxy. Who's
Yeah,
Galaxy?
I'm not too sure. He's still here.
Okay, don't worry. It's welcome. It's a nice morning.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to be talking on that, and Lou's just going to take us through some stuff that she's been educating herself on and reading and stuff like that. And it's stuff that we've all heard before, but it's maybe just an opportunity for us to pen it down and to kind of start teaching ourselves in this time, because we got time, right? I mean, unless you obviously some people are still working, but it's an opportunity to just educate yourself on the smaller things instead of jumping into the macros and the micronutrients. Think about how can we create these habits that's going to help us to execute. Okay, so do you want to jump in with that?
Okay. So.
Did you send the link? Sorry, did you send the video?
I sent the video.
Did you guys have a look at that?
Did you watch the video? On the WhatsApp group?
Oh. Okay, well, when you get a chance, have a look. There's a video on the WhatsApp group.
It's a short little video. It's just on habits. Big discipline, big results, and I think
the dominoes,
Yeah, dominoes. Yeah, and it really does put into perspective, what we need to be doing. It's a long road of small dominoes to kind of slay the giant, and that is the end goal. I think a lot of the time, we as humans, we get so motivated by Instagram and all these social media, you know, pouring into your life and what you see every day, that you get so excited and so motivated, but it's like, what is the vehicle, the small things taking you there? It's like a huge dream or goal, and then they're not breaking up into small chunks, you know, small little victories, small wins, you know, every week, 2 weeks. That's gonna, you know, ripple into the big goal. Hi Robin, is that Witty? Nice.
Hi,
Hello.
Robin. Morning.
Okay, so basically, we become what we repeatedly do. Okay, so as I said, you know, it's obviously about the small habits in life. So I just made a few notes here. Too often we let our motivations and desires drive us into a frenzy as we try to solve our entire problem at once instead of starting a small new routine. So what if losing 20 kgs, 5 kgs, 3 kgs, 2 kgs, whatever it is, wasn't dependent on a researcher discovering the perfect diet or you finding a superhuman dose of willpower, but hinged on a series of tiny habits that you could always control. Habits like going to the gym, you know, training 5 times a week, okay, but marrying that with a really healthy diet, okay, drinking more water, okay, waking up a little bit earlier, you know, doing accessories or whatever it is. If you want that 6-pack. Is that, who's that?
Campbell, bro.
One.
Oi.
Oi.
Are you coming? Are you going to work?
I'm at work.
Is that your work clothes? Is it? Yeah, work. Yeah, is that the look?
I've been like this since the operation on the 10th of Feb. So trust me, you get less chance for murder than the time I'll be stuck in this house.
Welcome, Mr. Campbell. How are you doing, man? It's great seeing you.
Yeah, very well. Good morning. Good morning all.
Okay, so basically, it's about it's focusing on your lifestyle and not life changing. So basically, for an idea, it's like losing 20 kgs or whatever it is would be life changing, but just drinking 8 glasses of water a day is a new type of lifestyle. Okay, so you know, if you're an author, publishing your first book would be life changing, but rather going out and emailing agents every day. Okay, running a marathon would be life changing, or doing an Ironman, but maybe running 3 times a week or swimming 3 times a week will be a new lifestyle. Okay, so it's adopting these small habits in our life that you kind of goes against the grain of what you actually feel inside. So if you're so used to doing something for so long, you have to really make a mindset shift in changing that habit for you to get the big dream and the big goal. You know, if you want to squat more than 100 kgs, would be life changing, or snatching 120 kgs, it would be life changing. But then why not do like SOTS press and snatch balance and, you know, squatting at least 3 times a week? We all want to snatch better, we all want to, you know, squat more, but we're not putting in the consistent little efforts to do that. Okay.
And this is a platform that we want to start. It's not an accountability group. That's not what it is. It's an education group, but it's a two-way conversation. And it's like I'm saying from the beginning, we're trying to educate ourselves. We're trying to better ourselves in this time of isolation because we've got time. We want to read books, and everybody wants to further themselves. So when it comes to nutrition, we would also like to do the same. But when it comes to habit changing, we believe that, you know, it's a two-way street. And maybe, you know, you guys come back next week and say, you know what, I changed this habit. And it's exactly what they say here. They're saying, okay, we all want to snatch. I mean, I want a 120 kilogram snatch. Can I tell you how much time I've spent on Olympic lifting in the past month? Nothing. I haven't snatched. I haven't even picked up a barbell to do snatches and stuff like that, or to clean, or to whatever. But I want a 120 kilogram squat snatch. It's not going to happen like that, and I need to come to the realization that if I want to achieve these things, I need to put little goals in place, little habits in place.
Yeah.
Maybe just take a barbell 3 times a week and cycle through some Olympic lifting movements. Maybe get a program or phone. You can phone me for a pro. You know, if you have a barbell at home and you want to do a program, we can give you stuff. But it's about just coming back next week and saying, you know what, I did manage to drink 8 glasses of water every day last week. And I'm going to keep on maintaining this until it becomes a habit. There's certain habits like just tying up your shoelaces. That's no longer a thing that you need to write on a goalpost or whatever. it's a normal thing. It's a normal part of life.
And flossing every night.
Brushing your teeth, flossing, it becomes a normal part of life. But initially, it was a bit of a strain. So that's the kind of thing you want to create. You want to create that environment where you've pinpointed a habit, and that habit has become just a part of life, a norm. And this is the small things like just drinking enough water, maybe focusing on your breakfast and making sure that you hit your macros or whatever you want to choose to do, but make sure that you do it every morning. It's a massive struggle for me at the moment just to stay on my flippin' my app every day. Like this morning I had to wake up, I had to make the shake, I had to make the toast, get the just do it and do it in time so that I have enough energy, because I find if I do it right, I have so much more energy throughout the day. Whereas if I miss a meal or an opportunity, I have a slump. Huge. Drinking less coffee. I have a huge amount of coffee in the morning. Huge. I mean in big, huge cup. And then some days now I have like 1 cup a day, where I used to have like 7, 8 cups a day. So I'm working on the small things so that I can get there.
And I think a lot of the things is like you want to like do it all. You like get all the groceries, you get all the the meal prep boxes. You want to do it all, and if you've got a very organized personality type, then you can, and you'll do it. But then you might be motivated for like 3 weeks, maybe 4, maybe 2, and then you just fall off the bandwagon because it's just too much too soon. So it's like thinking about just seeing how, like, I know some people order these food online, like Boost Foods, or these meals that have already kind of been done for you, just to kind of prep your meals. And yes, sometimes it can be expensive, but even just invest in yourself for 1 month. Just do it for 1 month until you've formed a habit, and then you like see a result, and then you're like, okay, cool, I'm seeing results, and then you can kind of start prepping yourself. So it's just doing small things, that will help you get the bigger thing, and just start doing it,
But just quickly, man, if you guys are online here, you obviously have an interest in changing your nutrition, or maybe you've got it dialed in, and you guys can also help us and give us some feedback. So if you're on this call, what are some of the key things that you yourself want to change? Or we can call it a goal, but I mean, what are some of the stuff that you want to change? If you start up here with Joe, what is it you want to achieve from eating differently and changing your lifestyle?
So my initial goal was to, which Favour is aware of, when I started with you guys, I was 102 kilos.
Yeah, you were half the man that you are now, or you are half the man that you were.
Well, I'm down to 93.8 now, and so it's been about 10 weeks.
10 weeks?
Just over 8 kilos in 10 weeks I've lost.
That's very good, eh?
But I'm getting to the point now where it's starting to plateau, so it's not coming off very quickly. So last week was 0.7 off.
Wow.
Sorry, Joe, not to interrupt. How did you lose that weight in that space of time? What did you do? Because that to me sounds amazing.
I've done quite, like Lou's just alluded to, it's quite overbearing to do a lot of stuff at the same time, but I've been really disciplined with it for the whole time basically. So I've upped my water to over 3 litres a day, not including anything I have during any exercise routines. That stuff doesn't count. And then hitting the nutrition plans in terms of like protein intakes and stuff, making sure that's bang on point. Because I was carrying excess weight anyway, I wasn't overdoing it. I was probably having a pound of protein per pound of weight initially, so it's about 1 for 1. Just because
sorry, Joe, to interrupt you, as in pound for pound or pound per kilo?
No, pound for pound. I was doing it just because it was easier at that stage to.
What was that? A gram of protein per kilo of body weight?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was. Pound per kilo. I can't remember. I'm sure I was having 200 grams of protein a day basically. That's what I was on.
So what was your macro breakdown? 50, 25, 25, or 50?
I started it off at 50 carbs, 50, 30, 20. It was 30 proteins, 20 fats, and then about 2 weeks ago I switched it to 40, 40, 20. Just to keep it going. But it's I was cutting out, like, I haven't eaten any sugars or anything, like no added sugars.
So what was your calories? Because calories are super important.
So I was at the start, I was only having about 1,600 calories a day. I cut it right the way back.
1,500.
60.
Yeah, 1,600 to 1,800.
Yeah.
So cut it right the way back. But the thing is that was hardly any for somebody of my size.
Yeah.
But I found that I still had enough energy to do, because as you know, I was still coming to CrossFit every day, so I was training 5 times a week still.
Yeah.
And still had all the energy that I needed, but because I was carrying so much extra weight, I didn't feel like I needed any more than that. And then initially I was losing over a kilo a week to start with, and then it's just gradually slowed down.
Yeah.
So sorry, Joe, is that your calorie breakdown now?
Yeah, 40, 40, 20. Yeah, that's.
But I mean, as in your total calories that you're having,
I don't exceed 2,000 calories a day still at the moment.
Yeah, and Joe, I mean, if I was to jump in here, your body's plateauing because you've now, your body has got to like the baseline metabolic. You've raised that, your metabolic baseline. You've worked hard to get it firing in the furnace. Do you understand? Now, in order, it's going to sound weird, but in order to jumpstart that and take it to the next level, is you're going to have to eat more food.
Right.
Okay, you're going to have to eat more food. Because if your body is going to be in plateau and in almost in starving mode, you're not going to burn nothing and you're going to stay at plateau. The thing is, people have this warped idea that, you know, you have to keep at your calories. You can only keep at those calories until your body has now, you've met it, and now your metabolic rate has come up. Okay, your
metabolic rate is caught on to what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's caught on and it started burning. You started burning, and now you've reached plateau. Because you've lost the weight that needs to be lost, and that was quite good and quite natural because you had the weight to lose. Okay, so that is a natural progression when you kind of do high intensity training with dropping 500 calories off your total calorie count. Okay, basically that is the deficit that a kind of healthy deficit, 500 calories. Okay, if you're training, but now you're a big man. Okay, and now you're doing weight training and you're training quite a lot. Your body's going to go into storing, so you have to up your calories. But you don't do that by 500 calories. You do it slowly, okay? Because your body has to get firing again, okay? And you want to, I mean, for you want to like get to like eventually 3,000 calories.
Yeah.
What happens where you're at now is your body is now into storage mode. It wants to store. So it knows that what we are doing is losing. We're losing reserves. We're losing energy. So you've lost fat, so we've lost reserves. So what it does now is it starts storing. And because there's not enough energy through calories to go into maintaining your normal daily function, as in, you know, training twice a day like you do online, and then eating the way you are. So I mean, 2,000 calories is just not enough, and your whole metabolic rate is slowing down.
The quality of training will
But
go
your
down.
mind is also saying, right, listen guys, let's store up as much as we can. And so what will happen over time is your fatigue and stuff like that. So you just got to think about increasing your intake. You know, and again, I'm not a nutritionist and stuff like that, so I'm not going to tell you what to increase to. I don't even know how many calories I take. I know how many macros I take, but I don't even know how many calories.
Tell you.
Yeah, but I
It
mean,
just gives you a breakdown.
yeah, but I mean, if you are taking in enough food, you'll see your metabolism will increase and you'll start shedding weight again.
Hey, Dave, can I just jump in a minute?
Yes, yeah, please.
Well, what you need to do, you need to work out what your weight is to what kind of job do you go? I know you're free at home, but I mean, when you're normally working, what do you normally do?
Drive around. I'm usually sitting in a car.
So you're kind of quite sedentary, but also, do you normally train twice a day when you're training, or is it only at the moment you're training twice a day?
Well, when the gym's open, I'll get up for one session a day through the week, yeah.
Yeah, so you do 5 sessions a week. So you need to work out what if you're saying to me you're on 1,800 calories, in all honesty, that's alarm bells to me, because that's less than what your body needs to function on a daily basis. So short term, that's fine. That's why in these last 10 weeks you've lost all that weight, because your body's gone into a shock mode. And I bet the difference being, like you say, you've upped your water intake. I bet you've changed loads of habits. You've dropped sugar out of your diet and all this kind of stuff. But all that comes down to is a calorie balance. So you've gone into a calorie deficit. And by sound things, that's great. You've lost this weight, it's what you want to do. But like AD and Lou was saying, the trouble is now that your body now will start stripping muscle. So all that hard work you're putting into the gym. I'm assuming, what did you do before you did CrossFit?
Played rugby. That was about it.
So you didn't do any kind of particular like gym work or anything like that?
Not for a long time now.
No. So what happened is, because you're now in there, you're going to be building muscle, and you're basically, your body now is burning all this fuel. But then what it'll start doing, it'll start stripping your muscle away, and then what happens is you'll start getting sessions where you'll start getting really sore, and your DOMs and that will start kicking in, and then the knock-on effect that you'll start losing motivation because of it. So what you need to do, you need to work out your basic calories. And what I do, if you speak to AD, I sent AD a video, but it's a basic understanding of the calorie intake and outtake. You ask AD to send it to you. It's like a 20-minute. It's a company that I've worked with, EP.2 Nutrition, and basically it's a.
Oh, it's a good video.
It's a really good video, like a breakdown on calories and all that. If you ask AD and Lou to also send that to you, it'll give you a good idea of where you should be. And it's a good place to start, and it gives you a better understanding of sort of nutrition.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I never knew what my sort of base level was going to be. So I obviously knew that it was going to slow down at some point.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
There's no. Listen, I mean, people can. I don't know, but for me, there is no generic.
No.
In all these years that I've done this, you know, I just don't feel there is a generic. I've done, you know, we've done these triathlon, we've done all these different sporting codes, and in every different sporting code, I would go in and I would try and find people that kind of look like me and try and follow what they eat and stuff like that. But your lifestyle, it doesn't take into account all these things. It doesn't take into account your lifestyle. If you've got kids, your sleep, your stress of your job, your all these things play such a role into your body composition. Really, it does.
Not just height, weight, and
if you're stressed, if you're massively stressed at work,
activity level.
if you're stressed because of a disease that's underlying, if you're stressed because your kids are doing bad at school or whatever, and your work, and then you come home and you know you got whatever. So it doesn't take into account all those things, and then you're sleeping 3 hours a night because you're laying awake, whatever. So it doesn't take into account those things. So it's really about finding that thing that you can holistically take an approach, and not just say, right, it's this and this and this and this. And I know for me, I was like looking for the magic pill. I was looking for the cure, and it was like, and I never found it, and I'm still looking for it. But it's a kind of a thing where we on a journey through this, trying to figure out, okay, what works for me is not going to work for you, but you can take this and this, and you can start applying it. So we're looking at a thing that's like a habit, because a habit, everybody can do that, and your habits are different than mine, your goals are different than mine, your lifestyle is going to be different than mine, and then we're going to start layering in all these other little bits, like, okay, if you take so many carbohydrates and so many nutrients and so many things, and you're training at this and this time, and that's the other thing I also want to allude to is time frames of training. Like, what is your nutrition? I think we as CrossFitters get this massively wrong. I think, Scotty, you kind of get it right, because I always see you have some other Lucozade or something with you. But what we do is, what I definitely do is, I miss the opportunity to refuel and to fuel, not only before training, during training, and after. Because if you really think about it, those are actually the times that you should be having your best nutrition. It should be the most on point.
Carbs.
Because
you have to have your carbs around training.
Yeah,
most of them.
Your body is then the most, except that it wants to take in the nutrients at that point.
For recovery.
Yeah, and you need to have the stuff in the engine before you start the workout. During the workout, you know, I've started taking BCAAs and stuff like that, whereas previously I never took it, and I feel 100 times better in my workouts when I have the stuff in, especially weight training. And then afterwards, you know, getting carbohydrates on board along with your proteins, not just I have a protein shake, isolate protein shake with 0 carbohydrates in, because your body needs the carbohydrates to refuel again. But again, this alludes back to habits, because if you can't even flip and drink 8 glasses of water a day, I don't know how you're going to get the fact in your head that you need to start eating before you train, during you train, and after you train. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my personal opinion, and that's what I found.
Because also ties hand in hand with performance. You know, if you find that you're coming like Joe, you come like 5-6 times a week, okay, and you're going to find that your body's going to plateau. You're not feeding your body and your performance is not going to be good. Your intensity is going to drop, and that's where the quality of training, injuries happen. You know, if you're drinking a lot of protein, you have to drink gallons more water. You have to up your water because it's synthetics you're taking into your body, and that causes injury and strain on your muscles. Okay, so you have to you have to be able to, you know, think about your carb intake, upping your calories around your training, and then you're gonna get the muscle ups, you're gonna get the squats, you're gonna get all that stuff because your body is now fueled to do it. If you're under fatigue, you ain't gonna do it.
Listen, but let's just get back to, I mean, it was a good chat there. But Scotty, what is your, I mean, we get you now, Si, but and Robin, if Robin can, why is Robin not able to speak? Can she speak?
No, she can see us. She's just muted.
Oh, okay. So Scotty, what is your plan, bro? What do you? I know you're a man with a plan. What is your plan?
I'm always a man with a plan, AD. For me personally, it's going back down the educational road. You know, I've had problems with my stomach for years. A lot of people probably don't know this, but I've had problems since I've been 21. Hence why I don't drink, smoke, drugs, whatever. The reason being because I had problems with my stomach. So I educated myself over the last 20 years with nutrition courses, sports nutrition courses, all these different things over the years. So mine's probably about becoming more accountable, education, and to really try and sort of help myself to help others as well. You know, it's kind of, I think the problem being, you hear it all the time, like you say, people want to change nutrition, change their diet, and we all do it. We all know what we should do. Like I say, most of us aren't silly, you know, and it's kind of, and I think it's, for me, it's just kind of re-educating myself and just getting back into the habits. You know, I've sat home for the last 3 weeks, and to be honest, my diet's been appalling. But I know it's been appalling. I know I can get myself out of this, but it's just too easy with children and kids around, all the treats and snacks, and that, just to go and, rather than making yourself something decent to eat, go and grab that bar of chocolate or that packet of crisps or something, and it's boredom for me, to be honest with you. But yeah, I just, being over 40 now, I find it a lot harder with training. I definitely have to have my nutritional goals in. Sorry, Simon, I only have a day.
But you only,
We dream of being over 40.
but so you're only 40, like 43 now, aren't you?
Yeah.
that hit's taken 10 years off him, that's what he's done.
Exactly. Be careful, when he gets back, it's going to be dangerous, bro.
Yes, bro.
But yeah, I just think it's, I just think it's kind of, for me, it's just kind of re-educating myself, you know, and kind of learning with you guys and helping you guys through the journey, you know, it's kind of.
Yeah.
I know, and we're very open to it, man. It's like it's why we want to create this group, and it's what we want to do as well. And just it's one of the points we have this morning, is we want to we would like, when we get further into this thing, when we start meal prepping and we start creating better habits and stuff like that, then we want to put it on the WhatsApp group. And I know it's going to be like, maybe for some of us it's a bit of a thing, but just a photo, put it on the group so you can create a bit more excitement. And then eventually, when we come out of isolation, then we'll create a WhatsApp group where we have accountability, because I think in the next 4 weeks, when we finally get out of this, or 6 weeks, or whatever it's going to be, we have this time now to kind of, you know, just feed off each other. And then once we get into the swing of normal life again, that accountability you talk of, we can create a group like we used to have for the nutrition, where you actually are accountable every day, where you post your pie and you post your things on there. I think that group was fantastic. I mean, to me, that thing was, it worked for me. I mean, I dropped my body weight.
It definitely works for me. Accountability definitely works
for me. So just for the next few weeks or whatever, let's you know, when I make a meal and stuff like that, or I have a good chart, I'm going to post it on the group just to create a bit more excitement, so that eventually we can have like 20 faces on this Zoom meeting, and not just 4 or 5, because nutrition isn't it's not the supermodel of CrossFit.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the thing that people want to really do. It's like it's the grunt work, really. So accountability, I'm with you, Scotty. I'd love to do that more, and just have this time to touch base, and see where you at. Like, you know, again, we can create good habits, and that's important.
And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be posting like the core crush and all that recipes, small simple recipes and things like great snacks ideas, or hit your macro snacks, just like every day, every 2-3 a day. David's gonna teach me how to do it.
But if you, but again,
but we'll do it.
it's a
We'll
team,
do it.
it's a team effort, man.
Yeah.
Especially in this time, if you find like, I found a good, this is a good breakfast for me and it works for me. Send it,
Here it is.
send it over, send it over and we'll put it on the Instagram and stuff like that. But again, we're learning. Like I'm saying, I'm not a nutritionist.
No.
I have a degree in sports science, but that didn't mean anything.
It's a passion, really.
And we are all just trying to better ourselves in this time. So it's open. The floor is open to anybody.
You, Si?
Si, what's up? What are we doing?
Well, as you all know, I had a hip operation 11 weeks ago. So obviously going through that rehab with Errol, which has been amazing.
Yes.
But I know, obviously, being on lockdown, I mean, I've been quite strict on not touching any of the biscuits and the chocolates been around the house. There is a bit, that's fine. And I've been very strict on what I've been eating, the diet regime, and so on and so forth. But my body weight just isn't moving. I'm now, I think my best weight was 102, and I was 15% body fat at my best. I'm now 107. But God knows what my body fat is. I don't feel any different. I look at it, my clothes don't fit any different, but I'm heavier.
Yeah.
I've tried, I've done a month of intermittent fasting and actually put weight on.
Yeah, that's your brain has actually cottoned on to what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like stuff you, bro. We're holding on.
We're holding on to this fat, bro.
The last time I did it, I lost weight. So last time I did it, I lost weight. Right?
It's
I'm
good.
doing something every day. I mean, I'm not doing the same intensity, obviously, of what we used to do. But I'm making sure I'm getting in there. I'm doing anywhere between 200 and 400 sit-ups a day, various types. I'm either doing a row, I'm either doing, so I can't run, but I can walk uphill.
Yeah.
So doing a really steep incline walk just to get the sweat on. I mean, I can do thrusters, I can do bits and pieces, but because the cardio shot to pieces for being out of action for so many weeks, it's taking its time to build up, but I'm getting the sweat. But I think I've got to go back to zero and work out what's best for me, because I've tried having less than 2,000 calories a day. I've done the 50% protein, 40% protein. I've done all of that in the last, and nothing's happening, nothing's moving, and I'm not sitting behind this desk all day long every day. I'm making sure I'm up and about. The dog gets a walk. I'm in the garage doing something. I'm being active. But it's plateaued, so I want to get back down to closer to the 100 mark, as in weight-wise. Body fat, if that comes off as well, what it will do, great. The cardio stuff I can work on here until we get back in the pit, and then once I get back in the pit, I'll be crawling out every night until I get back to where I need to be. But it's now finding the right diet for me, A, being 52, B, coming off a hip injury, and 3, a metabolism that's like a snail's pace at the best of times, and 4, intermittent fasting not working. So I've got to find something that works for me. What that is, I don't know.
How many calories are you taking, Si?
2,000 or less.
Listen, Simon, I've got an idea for you.
Yeah, I've got an idea too.
Oh, good.
And this is really what I wanted to keep this to later, but I mean, I feel you guys need to just kind of evolve yourselves around this sort of thing. But this is what Lou and I use at the moment. I mean, I've lost in isolation. I've now lost 3 kilograms, and I'm on a journey, man. I want to weigh a certain weight, but I'm on a mission, and it's called RP diet, and maybe you guys know it. Maybe you've been on it.
It's amazing, guys.
It's an app, okay? And yes, you have to pay for the app, but the app is it's about £140 for the year, or you can do a monthly installment and you can cancel it when you want. But this thing is incredible, not only because
meal timing,
not only because the best athlete in my mind in the world uses it, but because it is
lifestyle.
It's your lifestyle. So you basically set up your whole day on this thing the day before. So you say you wake up at 7 a.m. okay, you say you train at 12 p.m. and you're going to bed at 10 p.m. and this thing then generates your diet for you on the day. But also before you start, it tells you, are you a mesomorph, endomorph, ectomorph? You have to fill that in.
Your weight, your height.
It tells you your current weight. Then you've got 3 options: weight maintenance, weight increase, or weight loss. You tap on that, and it's obviously computer based, but it generates a
Diet.
a diet for you, not a diet. It generates your macros and stuff like that. And what you then do is you type in, say I put in eggs. The thing will tell me how many eggs I can take at this specific meal when I wake up. Like this morning, it told me I could have one egg, I could have one piece of toast, I can have half a banana, I can have a scoop and a half of protein shake, and I can put the rest of the banana in the shake. That was my breakfast. But this thing generates everything for you. It is a phenomenal app, nutritional app, and this is something but it's going to help you with your habits, because
Okay, so
yes,
sorry, question for you.
yes,
Two things. Do you then have to put the exercise into that stuff?
no,
No.
No. Okay. Second thing, choose your words carefully. What am I? Metamorph, endomorph, what do you say I am? Be nice, you two. I know where you live.
no. To be honest with you, so I want to say that you're a mesomorph. I actually want to say that, because you are muscular and you do. I mean, if I had to put you on a heavy weights only program, you'd probably generate a lot of muscle mass quite quickly. You've always been muscular, and to me, a mesomorph is not just somebody. Okay, yeah, I mean, mesomorphs can pick up fat as well quite easily.
Yeah.
I mean, but
It evolves. I think that body type evolves.
yeah, but they have the ability to pick up muscle mass quickly. So
Yeah.
but the other thing, sorry, babe, I'm giving up.
Yeah, no,
but
no,
the other thing is you put in your,
when you're training, what time you're training.
but you put in your, so it says, are you going to do a moderately
I can't
active?
see.
Are you going to do? Huh?
By the camera.
Oh, is it moderately active? Are you very active? And then you can put in, I'm doing 1 workout, 2 workouts a day. And then is it moderately active, very active? You get your 3 options. So it's not an exact science, but I promise you, I've lost 3 kilograms just by sticking to this thing in lockdown. So, and then when I came back from December holiday, I was actually 92 and I'm sitting at 87 now. So I've lost 5 kilos since December because we kind of been sticking, and I haven't been sticking to it 100%. Is what I'm trying to say.
So this thing, you also do weigh-ins.
Yes.
You have to clock your weight. It gives you, so before you even, once you've signed up, it gives you a whole series of questions about your life. What type of, are you sedentary, are you mildly active? You know, what type of job do you do? So it grabs all that information, which is great. You know, everyone's different. It's not just a generic, okay, this one 800 calories, 1,000, you know, and it also works your stuff out around your training. So your training is the focus. Your meals are secondary. So your training and your performance becomes first place, and your nutrition just fuels that, you know, to get you the goals that you want. And then if you're just consistent with this, the goal is going to come automatically.
Yeah, it's that consistency. If you actually keep, but that's we actually have, that's the beauty of it, because if you put in 12 o'clock, and that's what I meant when I said you have to have pre-workout nutrition during and after, because when you work out your training time, it kicks out what you should be having before, not during. I mean, I drink a protein shake now during a workout. You just sip on it, you know, and it's just with water and it's isolate whey. And then after, at a half an hour after you've trained, you eat again. So it kind of gears your whole day around your training, which is what we want as CrossFitters. Because that slump that you talk about, and the slump that I felt definitely from the end of last year, constantly feeling tired, fatigued. When I started on this thing, suddenly I have energy, loads, because my body is releasing the energy. I'm getting constant energy coming through, and it's actually, my metabolism is burning enough, so it doesn't have to worry about storing and stuff like that. So again, on a journey, I'm not there yet, but I mean, it is
It's a lifestyle tool, isn't it?
it really is. And we wanted to actually only talk about this later, but because you guys are already where you are, I think it's have a look at it, play around with it. I think you get a free version, but the free version is a 2-week trial as well. I took it as a Christmas present because I was sick and tired of trying to do
Do
stuff.
any of you know it? Have any of you known about it? Do you know it? Have you heard about it?
But Amy mentioned it before, but I use the MyFitnessPal one at the moment.
FitnessPal is great, but it just gives you the problem with FitnessPal, it just does food. Like you log your food in and stuff like that. This thing tells you when to eat. So if you have an Apple Watch, it's quite irritating actually. If you have an Apple Watch, this thing 45 minutes before a meal, it will ping on your watch and say it's time to eat. And you'll be like, flush the neck, bro. I'm on a roof busy knocking in nails, and then I have to get off the roof and then go and make food. You know what I'm saying? So that's quite cool because you have that constant accountability, even if it's to an app. But you know if you miss that meal, you can't make it up. It's kind of like you have to now, you have to go and make the food.
No, you don't want to eat 3,000 calories in the evening because you haven't eaten the whole day. You're not going to hit any gains and you're going to feel horrendous.
But say in your case, you can put in there, you can put in your age, you can put in all those things, and then you can say, listen, I'm weighing 102, I want to weigh 95. And this thing will, and then it will say to you, how long do you want to give yourself to get to reach this goal? And then you can say 6 months or whatever it is, and it will actually tell you. If you say 3 weeks, it's going to say it's too hard, not possible.
Well, you can do it, but it'll be hard. It's hard.
And then believe me, we did the weight loss section once, and I mean it becomes tough. Like initially you're eating all this food, and then suddenly it reduces, and you actually
Keeps
see
your body guessing, yeah.
it reduces, and then and you're still getting enough for your exercise according to your how you log it in. If you're putting in the truth, So yeah. Okay, cool. Robin, can we talk to her? Robin, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, there she is.
There she is.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very good, man. Good. Thanks for dialing in.
No cameras, I'm in bed. I didn't think any of you wanted to see that.
Yeah, hiding. Listen, Robert. What do you want to achieve from just from logging in and all this? Is this kind of stuff that you are looking for, or what are you looking for?
Yeah, definitely, I think so. So I'm sort of on the same journey as Joe. So I joined you guys about 6 weeks ago, but was too scared to stand on the scales then. So I don't know my total loss. I started weighing about 4 weeks ago, and I've lost about 4 kilos.
Woo! Well done.
Well done, man.
Awesome.
And are you doing the online workouts and stuff as well? I see you in there.
Yeah, so I'm trying to train a minimum of once a day.
Awesome.
But I have a really sedentary job, so I just sit at my desk all day. So I cannot move for about 12 hours. So exercise for me is a big thing. And then for me, I think it's portion control. I think I just used to eat way too much. So didn't necessarily eat badly, but I just ate way too much of it. So I'm really trying to weigh stuff before I eat it. So like I make sure I only have 50 grams of porridge and things like that. And using the MyFitnessPal to track. Making sure I have enough protein, because I don't eat enough meat really. Not that I'm a veggie, I'm not really a fan of much more. So just trying to make sure that I eat enough protein and I eat small enough meals. So I'm trying to sit at about 1,800 calories a day. But sometimes I'm not even getting that. Sometimes I sit 300-400 under that. So eating enough is sometimes hard.
That's a lot of people find, trying to eat a lot.
Yeah, just trying to get your food in into but again, play around with it. Play around with this RP diet thing. I think, like I said, there's a 2-week free trial. Play around with it because it really just gives you a broader idea of what you should be having and how much you should be having. And once you put in your goals and what you want to achieve, it kind of works with you. And it's
does it calorie count as well?
No. That's the thing. It counts it automatically for you, obviously. But I mean, like this thing would now say today, 210 grams of protein, 55 grams of fat, and then 355 grams of carbohydrate. That's what I'm having today. And then it will, if I like this morning at 7 a.m. I put a whey protein, a scoop and a half, almond butter 15 grams, raw banana 1, and then bread 1 slice, brown bread. And that was 30 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and then 45 grams of carbs. And then I'm only eating again at 9:30, and then 12 p.m. I'll have a shake with my workout. So it just gives me my grams of protein, fat, and carbohydrates. I'm not working on a.
And that's a tip. You have to, when you're eating, we're going to probably close up soon, but when you're eating, you try and incorporate all 3 macros into each snack, each meal. The protein, carbs, fat. You know, you have to incorporate those 3 elements into each time you eat. Otherwise, if you're only eating just a carb, you know, you aren't maximizing how your body burns and how it doesn't complement.
Complement.
Okay?
That's a real thing. I mean, that really is a real thing, because if they have to work together. Your fats, your carbs, your protein. You have to. It's constant that you put them together, and this thing works it out so that you put it together at the right time and the right amounts.
Yeah.
And again, around your training, so your performance is optimum.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. So next week, man, I'm gonna send. Scotty, I'm gonna put that link. I'm gonna put it on the Tiger Pit group. Like I said, if you guys have anything. Use the Tiger Pit group as a nutritional group. Eventually we're going to break off and we'll have our own thing going. And again, you know, with this stuff is we want to make it accessible, free, because I haven't got a degree in nutrition, but what I'm learning is obviously going to be beneficial to people coming to CrossFit. So we're videoing all this stuff, and all this stuff we will give out. If new people come and say, "Oh, my nutrition," we'll just give them this library of stuff.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any input and stuff like that, it'll help other people, because they'll see, oh, here's a 52-year-old, and he operates like a 35-year-old. How does he do it? Well, you put in your input and you gave your feedback, and also how you and then like with Joe losing all this weight, 10 kilos or whatever it is, people want to know about that.
Yeah.
So.
And also for next week, just come with 5 good habits you have and 5 bad habits that you have. We're going to focus on that. We're going to focus on let's expose ourselves. I have kids. I eat off their plates. That's a really bad habit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's really disgusting.
The kids eat.
You know what I'm saying? I have to eat quickly, otherwise mommy's going to get it.
Mommy's coming. Mommy's coming. Eat the food.
I'm coming in hot, brothers. I'm coming in hot, sisters. You're going to get that sausage while it's going in my mouth. That's a bad habit. You know what I'm saying? So let's expose each other. It's a bad habit.
Are you gonna have that? No, okay, I'll have it.
I'll have it then. Okay, are you sure? Because I'm going to take it.
No,
so,
man.
And then also, like questions, like things, like we've had a few questions today, but really think about why you're doing your RP or whatever. New 80, I really want to find out about macros. Proper macros, but whatever questions you have. What are good habits for you? What are good snacks for you? What what works for you in the mornings? You know what I'm saying? Just some questions.
Yeah, but listen, we'll see how this thing pans out, and hopefully by the end of the year it's not a promise, but we want to buy a bit of kit, and this thing is called the iBody. Go and have a look at it. It's an incredible machine that it's one of the most accurate fat measaments.
It's the advanced one.
Yeah, it's the most accurate fat measurement machine that you can actually use. It's an expensive flipping bit of kit. It's no joke. I think you're gonna have to come to my house to come and have a measurement, because we can't keep it at Tiger Pit in the office there. It might get flipping nicked. But this machine tells you your visceral fat. I mean, it goes as far as telling you visceral fat, so the fat around your organs, it'll take that into account. It'll take the fat around your body into account. It'll take your water,
every possible information about your
water intake. It'll take your muscular content. It'll take everything, your bone. It'll even tell you how much the bones weigh in your body compared to the rest of your body. And then it'll give you a printout of all of that, and your fat percentage, your mass, everything. And I'll give you a printout of all of that, and that is the most accurate way to track yourself. And and that's what I'm saying with that thing is, you can
get a starting point.
You can get a real starting point, and also a real feel of where you're really at nutritional wise. Because I mean, for us going forward, we will start prescribing RP diet. That's where we're going, because we've been doing it now for what month are we in? 3 or 4 months, and it works. It genuinely works, especially for CrossFit, because it's a CrossFit-based business. It's a CrossFit-based idea. And if you go on YouTube RP Diet, they've got amazing podcasts, amazing libraries, again, all for free.
Yeah.
And you can listen to these things and see what these guys are talking about. Okay. Any questions?
No.
All good.
All good.
All right, guys. Listen, have a fantastic day. Yeah, look out for it. Scotty on the comp group and stuff like that. I'm gonna post something later this morning, man. I'm gonna find out how many people actually have barbells and stuff, and maybe we can do a little Zoom comp session where we get some barbells involved and get some people involved to and just see if those guys are still awake, because they look very sleepy in that group. I think they've got the hump or something because it's there's no barbells and no muscle ups involved. They don't want to train. All right, so let's. I'll drop something on the group later. Okay, guys, have a great day. Fantastic seeing you, man.
Thanks for listening.
All right.
See you later.
Good to see you, Robin. Thanks, man. Thanks for posting in there. It's good to see your face, yeah.